Welcome to Lazy Guides. I pick a random something in Warframe and briefly talk about it. Today we're going to talk about Valkyr. First off, let's address the elephant in the room. If you're here to rage comment about the nerf, take a step back and bring your boohoos elsewhere. We vets have known about Valkyr's cheese for years, and honestly, it's about time. DE finally made you play the actual game instead of face tanking your way through it. So to all my lovely little cheesers, go ahead, hop over to Revenant and enjoy that ride while it lasts. Let the big boys handle the real grind. That's right, I said it. I want to take a look at Valkyr's kit, what's been improved, what synergizes now, and how my build will ultimately evolve. Let's get into it. Rip line. Before, it was just a basic grappling hook that felt more like this.
Dagger Stinger!
Now, it's a fast, responsive tool that makes you feel like Spider-Man. Even better, it doubles as a grouping mechanic when it connects with the enemy, pulling others in close. I wasn't expecting to love this ability as much as I do now. It fits seamlessly into her rework kit and adds real flow to her combat. Warcry. It's a temporary buff to armor and attack speed for you and allies within affinity range. Paralysis, an AoE effect slowing its victims while increasing their melee damage vulnerability. Hysteria, this ability turns Valkyr into Lady Deathstrike from X-Men, unleashing a flurry of brutal melee attacks that not only devastate enemies but also heal her with every hit. While active, Valkyr becomes immune to status effects, and her armor bonus from Warcry is multiplied, turning her into a relentless tanky brawler. It's no longer about invincibility cheese, now it's about controlled high-risk carnage with real payoff. Passive. Valkyr accumulates rage when hitting or killing enemies with melee weapons, increasing her melee damage up to 300%, taking fatal damage when the rage meter is above 150%, which consumes the meter, preventing death and granting 5 seconds of invulnerability. Basically, it's an innate health gate system. Most Valkyr builds have always been one-trick ponies, relying entirely on Hysteria to carry everything, but the mindset won't cut it anymore. The rest of her kit has been drastically reworked, and that's what you need to mod around now. Hysteria is still strong, but it's no longer the only thing worth building for. I have 2 builds currently, both for in-game. Before you copy and pasta, let me explain the caveats for each build first. First up, Nourish build. This build is a strong, well-rounded setup for in-game. I replaced Paralysis with Nourish because, let's be real, the frame is energy starved. She chews through energy fast, and Nourish not only gives her a solid damage boost with viral prongs, but also helps fix her energy economy. Well, almost. Adding Flow or even Prime Flow alone isn't enough to sustain her. That's where Arcane Battery comes in, and for Valkyr, it's a must-have. It grants bonus energy capacity based on your armor, starting at a flat 300. But here's the synergy. Activate Warcry, your armor shoots up, and so does your energy pool. It gets even better when you activate Hysteria, which multiplies Warcry's armor bonus, pushing your tankiness and energy reserves even higher. Everything feeds into itself. This is the loop Valkyr was meant to thrive in. Why did I subsume Paralysis? 2 main reasons. First, Ripline now offers a much better grouping mechanic compared to the old Paralysis augment. It pulls enemies in fast and lines them up for easy kills. No need for gimmicks. Also, Ripline doesn't need a mod slot to group as well. Second, with this build, you don't need to increase enemy vulnerability to get kills. Valkyr is already hitting like a truck. She's OP as is, and Paralysis just felt redundant. Dropping it opened the door for much stronger synergies. Wrathful Advanced build. This build demands even more energy than usual. To keep up, I swapped out Augur Secrets for Streamline and replaced Molt Efficiency with Archon Energy just to stay afloat. I also subsumed her third ability, Paralysis, with Wrathful Advance. And honestly, I should have called this the big number build. Why? Because every hit hurts. And I mean really hurts. If you're looking to shred in-game content, this is the build to do it. But fair warning, it's also one of the hardest to manage. You'll be constantly juggling energy and timing, but if you can handle it, the payoff is massive. Archon Charts. I highly recommend Amber Archon Shard, percentage energy filled on spawn, which is a lifesaver for energy hungry builds like this. Alternatively, you can slot in Preparation Mod in your Exilus if you're not using Amber Shards. As for the rest, it's up to you in your playstyle. Right now I'm running 2 Tau Forged Violent Archon Shards and 1 Tau Forged Crimson Shard, all focused on melee critical damage. I added 1 Tau Forged Azure Archon, partly for the bonus armor but mainly to expand the energy pool for good measure. Here's where it gets interesting. If my energy is over 500, the Violet Shards doubled their crit bonus. That's why I'm so focused on managing my energy pool. It's not just because of survivability, it's my key to unlocking massive crit potential. Valkyr Talons. It might not surprise you, but melee influence is still meta. Build the foundation for nearly every melee build that isn't relying on a gimmick. That said, my melee exposure build is no slouch either. I highly recommend using it specifically for Grineer missions. Talents don't have much innate status, but they rely heavily on combo multipliers to pull their weight. As long as you slot in Weeping Wounds or Blood Rush, you'll get a solid performance out of them. You can't afford to swap out Galvanized Elements just to add something like Drifting Contact, or consider using the Naramon School for the passive combo counter Decayed reduction. For my baby Tennos out there, here's a build for you to get started. As always, Fashion Frame is true in-game, and comment below how lazy my builds are. Till next time.